Thanks for joining us again on TK's Travels. Our first stop for this trip was Devil's Den State Park in Arkansas. Devil's Den State Park is located in northwest Arkansas, about 20 miles from any nearby towns. So make sure you fill up on gas, eggs, and milk before you get to the park. There's spectacular views of the Ozark Mountains. There's two ways to get to the CCC Overlook. One is the 3-mile loop on Yellow Rock Trail, and the other is to park at the top of Highway 170 Overlook, and it's a pretty easy hike from there. After the hike, Sunil and I enjoyed a swing in our hammock.
Are you taking a video, Mommy?
One of the most iconic sites at Devil's Den State Park is the Lee Creek Dam, built by the CCC using native stones. Our second day here, we hiked Devil's Den Trail. Make sure you take a hiking brochure with you. The trails aren't clearly marked, so even though we entered the trail near the visitor center, we left the trail at the parking lot near the bridge and had to walk the long way around. The crevices were an excellent source of natural AC, and TK enjoyed a quick cool down in the waterfall.
Does that feel nice and cool? Yeah.
We even found a hidden bird's nest, and the kids enjoyed watching the baby birds while the protective mama stood nearby. The kids loved making their own rock tower at the cold springs, and we even stopped nearby for a quick snack. We brought these great fanny packs so everyone could carry their own water, snacks, camera, and binoculars. Make sure you have plenty of water though. Sunil drank all of his water before we even reached the twin waterfalls. Back at the campsite, we have a really nice shaded spot with plenty of room for our hammocks, picnic table, outhouse, everything we need. However, our neighbors were quite close and they didn't have much room coming out their front door. All the campsites in Campground E were booked, so we ended up booking a campsite in D. We really did like our campsite, however there were no showers in Campground D. The spots there were more private, it was on a dead-end road, so it was very quiet except for the highway noise, and there is a single grill and fire pit at every campground. Now Campground E was mostly shaded on the outside portions, but the inside portion was completely open. They had much nicer bathrooms with showers, and the bathrooms had Wi-Fi, so that was kind of a nice little perk for them. It was very active with a ball field and basketball court, so it would be great for families. And each campsite had a separate fire pit and a standing grill. For an easy dip in Lee Creek, campsites 56, 58, 60, 62, 64, and 65 all had shortcut paths to the creek. All of the cabins at Devil's Den State Park are fully furnished, and with the exceptions of cabins 5 and 10, they were all built by the CCC between 1933 and 1942. This cabin, number 17, was the first cabin built on the property for the camp supervisor. Alright, so now it's time for campsite awards. That's one of my favorite parts of the video. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here to the major campsites that I'm going to be talking about. So they are campsites D and E. Okay, so we actually stayed in campsite D at site 46. And all the campsites through campsite D had really great views of the woods surrounding them. And then in campsite E, pretty much all of these around the outside had really good views of the woods surrounding them. There wasn't really like a best view for any of them. They all had really good views of the woods. But as far as like an overlook view or something like that, there really wasn't a view in either of these two campsites. For best Wi-Fi, none of the campsites had Wi-Fi. None of them even had an AT&T phone signal, but both of the bathrooms in Campground E had Wi-Fi. You couldn't actually get the signal very far outside of the bathrooms, but both of those bathrooms in Campground E had Wi-Fi. So if you are looking for like Wi-Fi in walking distance, you know, you definitely want to stay close to those two showers. Now, you can't really tell it in the map because the map is pretty two-dimensional, but for us to get to the showers from our campsite to Campground E, we actually had to drive because this was a forested hill. So we couldn't even see down to Campground E from our campground. The best Wi-Fi in the campground was right over here by the pool. So at the swimming pool, there was a little bathroom between the swimming pool and the cafe, and there was a little L-shaped bench right there, and that was the best Wi-Fi in the entire campground. So if you happen to be by the pools, that's going to be your best reception over there. And if you want to take a quick dip before dinner, the pool is free to get in at 5:30, but it closes promptly at 6. So make sure you get into the pool by 5:30 if you want to go for free. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit more so we can talk a little bit more in depth about the campgrounds D and E. So closest to the bathrooms, I'm not going to talk about Campground D at all for the ones that are closest to the bathrooms, because these bathrooms were not so great. So I would recommend, if you're in Campground D, just drive to Campground E or B to go to the bathroom. In Campground E, closest to the bathroom was 67, 69, and 80. For privacy, I liked 69 the best, just because it had the picnic table and everything on this side, so you kind of had like your back to the bathroom. Also, we were told that if you're expecting rain, all the rain washes down the hill and straight through campsite 67, so you may want to avoid that campsite if there's going to be rain. The most private goes to 50. Okay, so 50 was up here in our campground, and there's a highway that goes right through here. It's up the hill quite a ways, but 51 is visible from the highway, so 50 got most private. 78 is right here, and you've got a pretty good collection of woods right through here, so 78 was pretty private. And then 92, and 92 is right down here, and when you're parked in, your front door is right in here, and it was really, really private as well. There's a trailhead right here, and this trail leads all the way back behind all of these campsites right close to Lee Creek, and it comes back in through here. So if you don't want to be right next to a trailhead, avoid 53 and 79. However, 56, 58, 60, 62, 64, and 65 all had little paths that led out to this trail. So if you want a quick path out to Lee Creek, I definitely recommend going through one of those campsites. Alright, so if you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. To watch future videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel. And as always, thanks for watching.
What was your favorite part of Devil's Den State Park?
Seeing the deer.
Alright, Sunil, what was your favorite part of Devil's Den State Park?
Swimming.
Did you love everything?